Who really is Muse in Marvel's universe? Hey there, Marvel fans. Have you ever stumbled upon a character so intriguing and mysterious that you just had to know more? Well, today we're diving deep into the shadows of Hell's Kitchen to uncover the enigma that is Muse. If you've been following the Daredevil comics, you might have heard whispers about this chilling villain. But who is he really, and what makes him stand out in the vast universe of Marvel characters? In this video, we'll peel back the layers of this dark artist, exploring his origins, his twisted ideology, and his impact on our favorite heroes. Whether you're a longtime Marvel enthusiast or just curious about the darker corners of the comic world, stick around. There's a lot to unpack about Muse, and trust me, you won't want to miss this deep dive. Let's get started. The emergence of Muse. Muse is not your typical Marvel villain. He doesn't fit the mold of the power-hungry tyrant or the cosmic threat. Instead, he sees himself as an artist, one whose medium is chaos, and whose canvas is the city itself. Creepy, right? First appearing in Daredevil Volume 5, Issue 1 back in 2016, Muse quickly established himself as a formidable and unsettling presence in the Marvel Universe. His crimes are as much grotesque art installations as they are acts of violence, leaving both law enforcement and superheroes baffled. But how did this macabre artist make his grand entrance onto the scene? Muse emerged during a turbulent time in Hell's Kitchen, capitalizing on the city's vulnerabilities. His arrival wasn't heralded by a massive event, but was felt through the eerie and gruesome displays that started popping up around the city. Let's rewind and delve into the origins of this enigmatic figure. Origin and background. One of the most intriguing aspects of Muse is just how little we know about his early life. His real name? Unknown. His background? A mystery. This lack of information only adds to his eerie allure. Unlike many Marvel characters who have detailed backstories, Muse is shrouded in secrecy, making him all the more unpredictable. What we can gather is that Muse has a deep obsession with art and expression, albeit from a twisted perspective. His actions suggest a history marked by trauma or a distorted worldview. Perhaps he was once an artist who became disillusioned, or maybe his fixation stems from something even darker. But without concrete details, we're left piecing together clues from his masterpieces. Each crime scene offers a glimpse into his psyche, but raises more questions than answers. Transformation into Muse. So how did this mystery man transform into the villain known as Muse? Unlike characters who gain their abilities through accidents or inherit them genetically, Muse's transformation is rooted in ideology. He adopted a philosophy where art transcends morality and boundaries are meant to be broken. Muse began creating his art by orchestrating elaborate and horrifying scenes that caught the city's and Daredevil's attention. His methods are meticulously planned, showcasing not just a disregard for life, but a deep understanding of fear and shock value. What's particularly chilling is that Muse doesn't see himself as a villain. In his mind, he's a visionary pushing the limits of expression. This self-perception fuels his actions and makes him immune to traditional methods of reasoning or deterrence. His transformation is less about gaining new abilities and more about shedding any remnants of societal constraints. Powers and abilities. Now, let's talk about what makes Muse a formidable foe. While he doesn't possess superhuman powers like flight or super strength, his skills make him incredibly dangerous. Firstly, Muse has an uncanny ability to move undetected. He's like a phantom, slipping in and out of secure locations without leaving a trace. This stealth is coupled with agility and combat skills that allow him to evade capture, even when faced with seasoned heroes like Daredevil. Perhaps one of his most disturbing traits is his high tolerance, or even indifference, to pain. During confrontations, Muse has been injured severely but continues as if nothing happened. This resilience makes him unpredictable, as traditional methods of subduing a foe don't seem to work on him. Additionally, Muse is highly intelligent and cunning. He orchestrates complex schemes that not only achieve his artistic goals, but also manipulate those around him. His psychological insight allows him to exploit fears and weaknesses, making him a master at psychological warfare. Lastly, his artistic talent, though morbid, is exceptional. He uses this skill to create his art, which often serves multiple purposes: a message, a diversion, or a trap. His creations are designed to provoke reactions and steer his adversaries into his carefully laid plans. Muse's role in the Marvel Universe. Muse's most significant impact is undoubtedly his conflict with Daredevil. Their encounters are intense, not just physically, but psychologically. Daredevil, who is no stranger to the darkness of Hell's Kitchen, finds himself challenged in ways he's never experienced before. Muse views Daredevil as more than just an obstacle. He sees him as an unwilling participant in his grand artistic vision. In one chilling instance, Muse leaves a mural made from the blood of his victims, depicting Daredevil's likeness. Talk about sending a message. The battle between them isn't just good versus evil. It's order versus chaos, law versus anarchy, and sanity versus madness. Daredevil struggles to anticipate Muse's next move because Muse doesn't follow the typical criminal patterns. This forces Daredevil to think outside the box, often pushing him to his moral and ethical limits. One of the most gripping arcs is when Muse kidnaps several Inhumans to use their unique abilities in his art. This storyline forces Daredevil to collaborate with other heroes and even the authorities, highlighting the severity of the threat Muse poses. The stakes are higher than ever, and the pressure mounts as each moment counts in preventing another one of Muse's deadly exhibitions. Interactions with other characters. While Daredevil is Muse's primary foil, the ripple effects of his actions reach far beyond. His kidnapping of Inhumans brings characters like Karnak and other members of the Inhuman community into the fray. Their unique abilities and perspectives add new dynamics to the struggle against Muse. Muse's notoriety also catches the attention of vigilantes like the Punisher, who has a much more lethal approach to dealing with criminals. Although they haven't had a direct confrontation yet, the potential clash between Muse's chaotic artistry and the Punisher's ruthless justice is a tantalizing prospect for fans. Even Spider-Man swings into the picture, as Muse's activities threaten the broader New York City area. These interactions underscore Muse's significance in the Marvel Universe as not just a Daredevil villain, but a broader menace that other heroes can't ignore. Significant story arcs. Several story arcs have cemented Muse's place as a formidable villain. In the Muse storyline, his debut shook the foundations of Hell's Kitchen. His art installations escalate from disturbing to downright catastrophic, each one more audacious than the last. Another significant arc is Land of the Blind, where Daredevil faces the repercussions of Muse's chaos while dealing with his own personal struggles. Muse's influence looms large, even when he's not the central focus, illustrating how deeply he affects those around him. These arcs do more than just pit hero against villain. They explore deep ethical questions and the psychological toll of vigilantism. Muse serves as both the catalyst and the mirror, reflecting the darkest fears and doubts of the heroes who stand against him. Themes and symbolism surrounding Muse. Muse is a character rich in themes and symbolism, making him more than just another antagonist. One of the most prominent themes is the exploration of art without boundaries. Muse believes that true art requires pushing beyond societal norms, even if it means causing suffering. This poses challenging questions about the nature of art and whether the ends justify the means. His anonymity symbolizes the facelessness of chaos and extremism. By not having a clear identity or backstory, Muse becomes a vessel for the collective fears of the community. He's the embodiment of the unknown, which is often more frightening than any tangible threat. The contrast between Muse and Daredevil also brings symbolism. Daredevil, who operates in the shadows but fights for justice, represents order within chaos. Muse, on the other hand, creates chaos under the guise of creating order through his art. This dichotomy highlights the thin line between heroism and vigilantism, a recurring theme in Marvel narratives. Another theme is the desensitization to violence in society. Muse's art forces both characters and readers to confront uncomfortable truths about how tragedy and horror can become sensationalized. It's a critique of society's sometimes voyeuristic fascination with the macabre. Impact and legacy. Despite being a relatively new character, Muse has made a significant impact on the Marvel Universe. He has reinvigorated storylines with darker, more psychological elements, offering a fresh take on the traditional hero-villain dynamic. Muse has challenged heroes to step out of their comfort zones, testing their morals and methods. For Daredevil, in particular, Muse represents a new kind of adversary that can't be dealt with through fists alone. This forces character growth and opens up new narrative possibilities. From a fan perspective, Muse has been well received as a compelling and complex villain. His enigmatic nature invites discussion and theorizing, engaging the audience on a deeper level. He's the kind of character who lingers in the mind long after the story ends, which is a testament to his effectiveness as an antagonist. And there you have it, the mysterious and unsettling figure of Muse unraveled. Muse stands out in the Marvel Universe as a villain who isn't defined by superpowers, but by his twisted ideology and psychological depth. His presence forces heroes and readers alike to grapple with challenging questions about art, morality, and the nature of evil. If you're a fan of stories that delve into the darker aspects of heroism and challenge conventional narratives, Muse's arcs in the Daredevil comics are a must-read. They'll keep you on the edge of your seat and leave you pondering long after you've turned the last page. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of Marvel's most enigmatic characters. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow Marvel enthusiasts, and hit that subscribe button for more comic explorations. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the Marvel Universe. Excelsior!